Apple's iPhone launch event is one of the most predictable tech events of the year. The company has turned the September keynote into a ritual, and the iPhone remains its most important product line, accounting for a huge part of Apple's revenue and ecosystem growth. For years, Apple has stuck to a similar pattern, announced new iPhones in early to mid-September, open pre-orders a few days later, usually on Friday ship devices the following Friday. Looking at the last three iPhone launches, 2025. iPhone 17, announced Tuesday. September 90, 2024. iPhone 16, announced Monday. September 90, 2023. iPhone 15, announced Tuesday. September 12th. This clear trend shows that Apple likes the second week of September for its iPhone announcements, typically on a Monday or Tuesday. The iPhone 18 Pro is widely expected to follow the same pattern in 2026. However, there is one complication this year. Labor Day in the United States falls unusually late. On September 7th, Apple generally holds its iPhone event the week after Labor Day. That gives us two highly realistic windows for the iPhone 18 Pro keynote. Scenario 1. Earlier event window. Apple could decide to move quickly, holding the event just a couple of days after Labor Day, similar to what it has done in earlier years. In that case, a date like Wednesday, September 9th becomes a strong candidate. This would mirror patterns where Apple didn't wait a full week after Labor Day and still kicked off its fall iPhone cycle early. Scenario 2. Traditional week after Labor Day. Slot staying closer to its usual choice of the week following Labor Day. Apple could instead opt for Monday, September 14th. This fits nicely into its habit of Monday-Tuesday events during the second week of September, preserving the familiar cadence that the market and media have come to expect, whichever exact date Apple picks. All signs and leaks point to the same conclusion. Expect the iPhone 18 Pro to be officially unveiled in early to mid-September 2026. iPhone 18 lineup. What models are expected this year? While previous years focused on standard and Pro tiers, 2026 is shaping up to look a bit different. Multiple reports and industry leaks suggest that Apple is planning a slightly restructured lineup, built around its most premium devices. The rumored 2026 iPhone lineup includes iPhone 18 Pro, the core flagship for power users, iPhone 18 Pro Max, the larger screen version with similar internals, aimed at users who want the biggest display, and Batteria Phone Ultra, a possible new Halo device that may sit above the Pro Max, potentially offering exclusive camera upgrades, advanced materials, or cutting-edge features. One notable twist this year is that the base iPhone 18 model is not expected to ship in 2026. Multiple rumors suggest that the standard iPhone 18 may slip to early 2027. Leaving the 2026 fall lineup focused primarily on higher-end models. There's also ongoing speculation about an iPhone Air. Some reports point to a lighter, more affordable, or more design-focused model called iPhone Air, possibly slotting between a standard iPhone and the Pro line. However, details on the iPhone Air's timing and exact role in the lineup remain unclear. Some analysts think it could arrive as part of the 2026 fall launch, while others suggest a later release window. For now, the safest expectation for fall 2026 is that Apple's main stage will belong to iPhone Shubai, Proiphone Shubai, Pro Maxiphone Ultra with the base iPhone 18 and any potential iPhone Air following later. When will the iPhone 18 Pro actually release? Announcement dates are one side of the story. For most buyers, the real question is, when can you actually get your hands on the iPhone 18 Pro? Here, Apple's pattern is even more consistent than its event timing. Once the iPhone is unveiled, Apple almost always follows this rhythm. Keynote event early in the week, Monday, Wednesday. Pre-orders open that same week on Friday. Official release date the following Friday. When devices arrive to customers and appear in stores, looking at the last 3 years confirms this. 2025. iPhone 17 announced Tuesday, September 9 pre-orders. Friday, September 12th release, Friday. September 1, 9202 for iPhone 16 announced Monday, September 9 pre-orders. Friday, September 13 release, Friday. September 202023 iPhone 15 announced Tuesday. September 12 pre-orders. Friday, September 15th release, Friday. September 2 to this is the template Apple has used year after year, and there's no strong indication it plans to change it for the iPhone 18 Pro. Using the two likely announcement scenarios for 2026, we can project the rest of the schedule. If Apple announces the iPhone 18 Pro on Wednesday, September 9th, pre-orders would almost certainly open on Friday. September 11th, the first wave of orders would arrive, and in-store sales would begin on Friday. September 18, if Apple announces the iPhone 18 Pro on Monday, September 14th, pre-orders would then go live on Friday. September 18, the official release date, would be Friday. September 25th, that means the most realistic release windows for the iPhone 18 Pro are Friday. September 18th, 2026, or Friday, September 25th, 2026, barring any major supply chain disruption or a strategic shift in Apple's playbook. One of these Fridays is highly likely to be when the iPhone 18 Pro lands in customers. Hands down, will all iPhone 18 models ship on the same day, while the Pro and Pro Max models typically share the same release date. Apple has occasionally staggered launches when dealing with production constraints, new form factor extra premium models with unique components. The iPhone Ultra is the wild card here. As a more advanced and potentially more complex device, some leaks suggest it might ship later than the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max, even if it's announced at the same September event. For example, Apple could announce Ultra alongside the Pro models in September open. Pre-orders at the same time, or slightly later ship the Ultra a few weeks after the core Pro lineup. Once production ramps up at this stage, there's no firm consensus on the exact Ultra release timing. However, iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max are very likely to share the main September release. Dataphone Ultra could arrive later in the fall, or in a second wave. Similar to how some past Apple devices, like certain iPad or Mac models, have been announced early but shipped weeks or months later. The standard iPhone 18 is expected to land even later, tentatively in early 2027, meaning 2026's fall spotlight will heavily favor Apple's premium offerings. What this means for buyers planning an upgrade? You're thinking about upgrading to the iPhone 18 Pro series? Here's how you can plan around Apple's expected schedule. Watch for the event invite. Apple usually sends out digital invitations roughly a week before the keynote. Once that invite drops, you'll have a confirmed announcement date. Get ready for pre-orders. Based on Apple's history, pre-orders will almost certainly happen on a Friday morning, typically 5 a.m. PT, 8 a.m. ET. If you want a launch day device, especially for popular colors or higher storage Pro models, it pays to order early. Expect your device on a Friday if you pre-order as soon as sales open. You can usually expect launch day delivery on either September 18th or 25th. Depending on which schedule Apple chooses, keep an eye on Ultra availability. If you're targeting the iPhone Ultra, be prepared for possible limited stock or staggered shipping dates. This model is likely to be in high demand with comparatively lower supply in the first wave. iPhone 18 Pro release date summary, putting everything together. Here's the most likely timeline for the iPhone 18 Pro. Based on Apple's established patterns and the current leaks, iPhone Shaba, flagship models, iPhone 18, Pro Phone, 18 Pro, Maxophone, Ultra Post. Announcement dates Wednesday, September 9th, 2026, or Monday, September 14th, 2026. Possible pre-order dates Friday, September 11th, 2026, or September 18th, 2026. Possible release dates, devices in stores and arriving to customers Friday, September 18th, 2026, or Friday, September 25th, 2026. Additional expectations: iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max are highly likely to share the same release date in September. iPhone Ultra may be announced alongside them, but could ship later depending on production and Apple's strategy. The base iPhone 18 is not expected to hit the market until early 2027, positioning 2026 as a Pro and Ultra-focused year. A potential iPhone Air remains a question mark, with no firm consensus on whether it will join the 2026 lineup or arrive separately. With Apple's fall event pattern being so consistent, Anyone planning to upgrade to the iPhone 18 Pro can safely prepare for an early to mid-September announcement. Pre-orders quickly following that, and an official release landing on a Friday in the second half of September 2026.